This is the story of how the red dragon became the symbol for Wales. Back in the 5th century of Old Britain, deep in the mountains of North Wales and in the shadow of Yr Wyddfa, Mount Snowdon, the highest mountain in the country, there lived a Celtic king called Vortigern. King Vortigern was very wealthy, and he hunted through the mountains and valleys until one day he was resting with his hunting party at Llyn Dinas, Lake Dinas, when he looked ahead and saw a glimmering, beautiful mountain. The mountain was an enchanted location, having 2 waterfalls either side of the solid, glimmering stone, high over the ridge that looked right across the valley below to Afon Glaslyn, the river. It was surrounded by lush forest and plenty of edible plants. It truly was a wonderful place. As the sun warmed his face, he felt very sleepy, and he closed his eyes. He dreamt of being on the mountain and had a vision of a spectacular castle overlooking the valley with food in abundance and much merriment. He awoke, and such were the strong feelings of this dream, he called for his courtiers, masons and sorcerers and told them of his plan. We must build a castle fit for a king and this kingdom. The royal masons began their work, and soon construction started and the castle started to take shape. Much progress was made on the first day, with King Vortigern being very pleased and excited for his plans of the new castle. But each night, when the royal masons put down their tools, they awoke the next day to find that all their hard work had disappeared. All the walls they had built had fallen. The foundation stones just tumbled down the rocky cliff. Day after day the same thing happened until King Vortigern summoned his sorcerers. He commanded, "Find a solution to this problem so I may build my castle." The sorcerers used their skills and agreed that the ground where the castle is to be built need to be scattered with the blood of a child whose mother was human and father was from the other world. Such a task, King Vortigern summoned his knights and sent them in search of this child. One knight did not have to travel far, as in the valley was a child known as Merlin Emrys, Merlin the wizard. Merlin was brought before the king and his sorcerers. The sorcerers confirmed, "Yes, this is the child, half human and half otherworld, and it is his blood that needs to be scattered on the ground where the castle needs to be built." Now Merlin, having the powers of the otherworld, and with his humanness, he knew the ways of man. He knew he did not have to be sacrificed, as he had much insight into the nightly events that were occurring. He explained, "My king and nobleman, the reason the castle is falling is because there are 2 dragons sleeping next to a lake within the mountain you are building on. The dragons wake up each night and fight, which is destroying the foundations of the fortress from inside the mountain." Such was the conviction of Merlin's insights. King Vortigern believed him and ordered his labourers to dig far into the mountain. They dug day after day, night after night, and soon they found the lake Merlin had described. And then a strange thing happened. The lake began to drain. And as the water was getting lower and lower, it was then the labourers saw the red and white dragons, who awoke from their slumber and began to fight. Much blood was shed. There was screeching and fire unleashed until the labourers, fearing for their lives, ran back to the top of the mountain. In time, the white dragon gave up the fight and fled from the mountain and the kingdom. The red dragon, now exhausted, retreated back to his cave within the mountain and became quiet. Vortigern's fortress was then built on the now peaceful land and was suitably named Dinas Emrys in honour of the child, Merlin Emrys, and the red dragon has been an icon in Wales ever since. But wait, is this just a folklore story or something from mythology, a legend? Well, many centuries later, in 1945, the site of the mountain was excavated by a team of archaeologists who found a lake and ruins of a castle dating back to the time of King Vortigern's ruling. When inspecting the ruins, they also found evidence that the castle had been rebuilt several times. So if you decide to visit the site of Dinas Emrys, make sure you tread carefully, as there might be a dragon beneath you.